We are live here at the offices of Scarce City. I am Chris Tremount, your host today, Chief Executive Pleb at Scarce City. Oh my goodness, we have an exciting auction going on here. We are finishing off the auction for the original of the United Nodes of Bitcoin. This is the back of the note. And wow, okay, we got to check out this bid table. There's a story to be told here. We started off strong. No messing around with small bids. MBTC came in with 5 million sats to begin with. From there, things escalated quickly. We've seen many bids above the 20 million sat range. And then it got quiet. It got quiet for most of the morning here on the East Coast. And all of a sudden, we've had Mike Z, who, if anyone's been paying attention from the beginning, Mike Z won our first auction for Relentless Optimism by Chief Monkey, and he made that a hell of an exciting auction. He appears out of nowhere with a 31 million sat bid, and then Flinky, this is Flinky's fourth bid. Anytime someone bids, Flinky bids on top. Flinky came hard over the top this time. 35 million bids, that's where we're sitting at right now. That's about 20,000 USD. We got just under 25 minutes to go. If this is your first time here at Scarce City's Lightning Auctions, the way this works is if you want to place a bid, you put it in here. We tell you the sats math. We tell you how much you need to deposit for collateral. You input your email address. If it's your first time inputting that email address, you input a display name with it. That's what appears in the bid table. The email address, it can be any email address as long as you have access to it. It's how we verify the winner, but it stays private. Once you press place bid, we give you some more important information. And then if you confirm, you're directed to BTC Pay Server to pay an invoice for this amount, your collateral payment. The default method is on Lightning. You can do it instantly, anonymously, cheaply. You can pay on chain for the next 8 minutes. However, if you do that, make sure you put in a high enough fee because that on-chain payment needs to confirm within standard auction time. And keep in mind, you will get wrecked on fees. And most importantly, keep in mind here, within 15 minutes of the final countdown, only Lightning bids are accepted. Okay, no more on-chain. We got to make sure these transactions confirm before the auction's over. All right, what else for the hot zone? That's the final 15 minutes. Any bids placed within the final 15 minutes, they reset the countdown to 15 minutes. Auctions cannot end with a pending bid. So if somebody opens an invoice with just a couple of seconds left in the auction, they have a couple minutes to pay that invoice. If they don't, auction's over. If they do, we're reset to 15 minutes. All right, I think that covers it. We got a special program for you today. I'm going to be joined by Rebel Money Art from 21ism. And then I'm going to be joined by Brekkie Von Bitcoin. And we may have some special guests after that. We'll see how it goes. All right, without further ado, I'm going to bring on Rebel Money Art. Are you there, buddy?
I most certainly am. Good afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is over in America at the moment.
Yeah, wherever you are. Good, whatever it is for you. I'm excited, man. It got really quiet here, and now we've got some serious bid action going on. How are you doing today?
Mate, I'm doing really fantastic, actually. And I think there's nothing better, to spice up your Saturday night, really, than getting down, obviously, to Scarce City, checking out this auction, this fantastic and extremely unique piece, which I'm sure we're going to talk lots about today. So yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I appreciate the invite.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on. I love everything you're doing with 21ism. And actually, before we jump into it, just give a quick introduction on yourself.
Yeah, so I'm just a pleb. That's it, like everyone else, really. I just write for 21ism, which is the sound culture renaissance, really, in Bitcoin. We're just curating, crafting, and amplifying Bitcoin-inspired creativity. And if anyone wants to check us out, all the content that we have, that's at 21ism on Twitter. So and then I just do a bit of art myself, and then and I make a good cup of tea as well. So
Very important. What are you? What a black tea, green tea guy? What's your flavor of choice?
it's got to be a quality brew, mate. So we're talking Tetley, Yorkshire tea, which is black tea, I guess, with a dash of milk.
Oh wow,
So yeah, that's how I roll. Get the big guns in.
I hear that, man. I've got a fine cup of tea here myself. I'm staying with my mom right now, so she's got like the really good shit. I don't even know the name of it. It's in French. I can't even tell you what the name of it is. It's a green tea.
Oh, amazing! Mum's
Gotta
make you
go
all the
green.
best cup of tea.
That's
Oh,
right. Gotta go green in the afternoon. Can't get too crazy.
exactly, mate. Oh, yeah, I love yeah. Well, we're just going to get crazy anyway, isn't it? Here on Scarcity anyway. So caffeine or not, my friend. So yeah, loving it.
Yeah, man. All right. So, look, one of the main reasons why we wanted to have you on is you just had a really cool piece with 21ism talking with Crypto Graffiti and going, behind the scenes all the way, talking about his background, talking about the United Notes of Bitcoin, talking about BTC versus Fed. And I had the great pleasure of doing it with him yesterday. So I figured, we could start off with a summary of your conversation and we could bounce off our biggest takeaways from each of our conversations. So, how about you kick it off?
That sounds cool. Yeah. So, as you said, I had a fortunate to meet or over the internet. Anyway, I did invite him to Wales, where I'm at, but he
Uh-huh.
hasn't turned up yet. One day maybe to meet Crypto Graffiti and have a chat with him. And we talked a little bit about our his background as in Bitcoin, his rabbit hole story, which interestingly started even before he met Bitcoin or came to contact with it. He talks about his anti-authoritarian stance and where it developed from. So I found that quite interesting. Then how he got in touch with Bitcoin, and then obviously how he got more involved with the art and started making art. Some of the pieces that he's created, which are awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a massive fan of his work. So pieces like Time Chain, the kind of Mick take on the art Basil Banana, which is fantastic. But then, I think really where Crypto Graffiti really hits home and his best work is when he comes into the Bitcoin activism space with his art. So his project with in Venezuela, where he worked with some of the locals over there to remove Nicolas Maduro from a wall in his piece.
Yeah.
That was pretty clever. And then obviously led on to that. Well, what we're looking at today, BTC versus Fed, which is an activism piece based around what is happening with the current monetary system, and it's extremely exciting. Yeah, and I think he, from my experience, all around nice guy, really humble, and yeah, to own one of his pieces now, yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that's what, in my mind, makes his work so special is that all of it, while it's, of course, aesthetically pleasing, tells a story, like it all has a purpose. Whether it's his work in Venezuela, his work with actually doing the first auction on the Lightning Network, the Black Swan, to get people to use the Lightning Network. And now with BTC versus Fed, educating working class people on the impact the Fed has on inequality in the US. There's so much depth to all the work that he does. And it just, I feel like it's what makes art really special in general. And we're lucky to have him bring it to Bitcoin.
Completely agree. It's in my piece, I kind of summarized it in the sense that as obviously we love aesthetic art, that's wonderful, but what really makes Crypto Graffiti really clever and interesting is the message that's behind the art, and toying with that much in the same way, like he's toying with us now. So think about it in these terms, okay? Where I'm here, Saturday evening, and you've given up my good time, chilling with you guys. You know, I'm enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie. Everton versus Man City, Liverpool football is on at the moment. I could watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but I'm not going to. So instead, I'm here, and I'm actively encouraging people to buy the dollar. I'm or buy a dollar. You know, turn your hard-earned sats into a dollar. It's fascinating. He basically messes these social experiments with people, and it's just the cleverness behind his art. And the more you look into his work, the more you can appreciate it. And for me, that's what makes him a really special artist. And in years to come, people are going to look back at this and this present point in time and go 35 million sats, what a bargain, you know. So that's what makes him a special artist for me, not just in the Bitcoin circles but in general.
That's so interesting you say that. You know, I saw your tweet and you suggested this, but I really didn't put it together. But you're right. Like, this is like the only instance where it's okay to turn your Bitcoin into some form of fiat, right? And potentially a great deal of Bitcoin into a single, what used to be US dollar. And like you said, like the more you look into his art, the more layers you uncover.
He's like an onion. He's like, you know, he is. It's just, or a Russian doll, you know, so many layers. And this is it. He's got us shilling the dollar. Unbelievable, isn't it? So yeah, there we go. But yeah, really excited to be here and well worth your sats, this piece, because it's obviously one of a kind and has a very important cultural place in Bitcoin and the potential, and the future money system as well.
Absolutely. And while we were just talking here, the action heated up. So we hit the hot zone, which is the final 15 minutes, and it seems like a few participants had a similar strategy here of trying to get a bid in right before the hot zone. So last we checked in, Flinky was up with 35 million sats. Then Jeff, also a Scarce City legend who took home Fractal and Crypt's full node sculpture, he came in for 36 million sats. And then Athena Bitcoin, I know we've seen Athena Bitcoin on the bid tables in the past, but I don't think they've gone home with an art piece yet. 37 million sats. And then Flinky, with Flinky's fifth bid, is back on top with 38 million sats. So really heating up here. We've got technically just under 14 minutes to go, but any bids at this point, they reset the countdown to 15 minutes. A lot of serious bidders are going for this thing. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Flinky can hold on here. All right. Well, man. All right. What do we got here? I'm getting distracted by the bid action.
No, it's fine. It's completely understandable. Just say,
how could you not?
Well, exactly. I did, Flinky, I apologize in advance. I did tweet Sailor to say you should probably get a hold of this. So if he comes in and gazumps you, you can blame me.
It's
okay?
all on you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on me. So yeah, if we see Giga Chad, you know, has put a bid in, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Blame Rebel Money Art. All right. Well, look, what's all right. So 21ism, with this interview with Crypto Graffiti, you guys dropped a whole bunch of stuff. You want to give us the highlights there?
Yeah. So every single month we drop a block, and in that block we have art, video, design, word, code, music, and memes. So 7 different aspects of Bitcoin culture. And what we do is curate them and then put it in, thanks to the members of the team. That there's a group of us that work really hard behind the scenes to make this happen. We give everyone a dose of it. So last month, on the 5th of March, we had Crypto Graffiti. I was covering that. Then we had video, obviously the Bitcoin voice paper, amazing project, and that was great to be part of that. We had design, which was El Sultan. Word with Nick Campmine, or Nick Hoffman, whatever he's calling himself now. big fan as well, Manchester United fan as well. Well done, Nick.
Mhm.
And code, we had Ben Kaufman. We had music, we had BTC Minstrel, because shanties are in at the moment, and he's been doing it for years, and he had a fantastic conversation with Self-Banked on that. And then last but not least, the yellow himself, IC Offender, who very, very kindly created a meme for us as well with Flat Eric on. So thank you, IC Offender, if you're listening. And he was with MTC BTC, and that was a fantastic conversation. So dropping the 5th every month, and our next block is on the 5th of April, and we've got some really cool guests lined up as well.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, just flipping through this, I just love your website so much. Like it's it's so beautifully done aesthetically, but it's like it's still really user friendly. Like I don't feel like I'm just like being bombarded with hard to get around design. Like it's beautiful and a joy to get through. So props to you guys as always for just doing an awesome job here putting together amazing content for Bitcoin art and culture.
Thank you, appreciate that. Shout out to Mr. Crown there for his fantastic web design skills there as well. He's the one that really adds the polish onto the fantastic content that all the group creates. So.
Absolutely. Oh, we got another one. Oh man,
wow,
we're getting big here. Mike C. This is how Mike C operates. He comes in with the hammer. 50 million sats. We're looking around 30K US. It's not. This is exactly what happened in the Relentless Optimism auction, where people were just kind of one-upping each other, and then Mike C drops the hammer. I love to see that. Separates the men from the boys.
He's not Mickey Saylor, is he? He's not Mike Saylor.
You never know. You never
Who
know.
knows? Who knows?
You gotta respect the man or woman's privacy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what we're all about here. But goes by the name of Mike Z, that's for sure. All right, so you got the next block in the works. Anything you want to tease for us on that?
I don't know, really. I think we like to keep it a bit of a secret.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll drop it then. But needless to say, there's big plans for 21ism. Thanks to the community for supporting us. We've really grown in the last couple of months, and we've got some big plans to help proliferate Bitcoin culture even further. So I'd really love to share them with you today, but I'm just going to keep you all in suspense, and you just need to keep your eyes on 21ism.com and at 21ism on Twitter.
I respect that. Oh man, Flinky, he was doing the one-up bids, but he's coming strong here, hanging with Mike Z. 55 million sats, around 32.5K USD. Oof, we got a serious auction here. All right, so we're reset to just over 14 minutes. I'm gonna welcome on Brekkie Von Bitcoin here in a second, but before I do that, let's talk about your art for a little bit here. Rebelmoney.art. Do I have that right?
You have that correct, yes. So this is, I'm not going to lie, this is a little bit of a work in progress. And I've just started learning how to do a bit of WordPress. But it's, if anyone wants to have a look at it, I had a few buyers already, but it's art that mimics the Bitcoin blockchain. And I won't bore you with any details. If you like it, go on there, check it out. But other than that, yeah, if you enjoy quality Bitcoin art, then buy crypto graffiti stuff. But then if you also want to check out some of my things as well, this rebelmoney.art. So
awesome. Yeah, I tried to pull up the webpage. My computer's bugging out. I know it's a problem not on your website, but definitely everybody check out rebelmoney.art. I love your name, by the way. I think it's one of my favorite names in Bitcoin art.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's because Bitcoin is the ultimate protest. By buying Bitcoin, you are taking a silent protest that, in my opinion, is far more powerful than placards outside a government or institutional building. So, hence the name Rebel Money. It's money for the rebels, the free thinkers, and the pioneers, and that's what inspired me to have that name. So, thank you very much.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, I was about to welcome on Brekkie, but I got it covered. Jeff coming through with 60 million sats, just over 35K. You know, Jeff, when he won Fractal and Crypt's full node sculpture, he placed his bid at like the 15-minute mark. And I think he was expecting a little bit of a bidding war, and he didn't get it. He took home the prize without a bidding war in the hot zone, but looks like he's got one on this auction. So we'll see how he holds up. All right. I've been leaving Brekkie hanging for long enough. Brekkie, are you there?
I'm there, and thank you for having me. I've got laser eyes today, not only for 100K Bitcoin, but because I think this piece needs to go for at least $100,000 worth of Bitcoin. So I'm not taking the laser eyes off till we get there. Let's go, folks. Come on. Crypto graffiti we're talking about.
The laser eyes stay on until someone bids 100K. Wow. Setting lofty expectations. You're looking good, man. I like your look. You got to teach me this trick.
Thank you. Maybe I should go with the lightning laser eyes since we're a lightning auction today. I think that's a better move. There we go.
What?
Now we'll go back.
You got crazy variety. All right, man. How you been? It's been a few weeks since we caught up last. How you doing?
Yeah, man. I've been good. I've been working hard. Excited for this auction. Excited to see Scarcity grow. This is pretty exciting. This end game here. We've got some like three. How many bidders do we have? We got Flinky. We've got Jeff. Oh, Flinky in with a new one coming in, and then Mike Z. Like three heavy hitters. So this is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, what? Flinky, Jeff, Mike Z, Athena, maybe some others here. I mean, a lot of people have bid serious amounts, so you never know when they'll come back into the mix. And we do have a pending bid from Flinky. Still not confirmed, but he hasn't let us down before. He or she has not let us down before, so we'll see if that comes through. What do you think of what I want to get your take on everything about what Crypto Graffiti has created here? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, dude, Crypto Graffiti is the OG Bitcoin artist. You know, there's very few who could say they started earlier than he did, and this piece is just, you know, it's special. It's I think it brings together everything that he stands for, and you know, harkens to his latest project, you know, BTC versus the Fed. So it's a special one, and if anyone's watching and they want to buy it for me, please, I will take it off your hands. I can't afford it myself, but you know, I'm not above a present from anyone watching.
I mean, this is the ultimate piece to have hanging in your office, just to be staring at, you know, like next to your computer. That's probably where I'd put it.
You know, there's something to be said for, I love Bitcoin art that isn't so kind of in your face about, you know, I do like Bitcoin art that has a giant Bitcoin logo right there. Oh shit, Mike Z, let's go. Mike Z pending.
Whoa.
This is
I
where
think he saw your laser eyes.
He did. Let's go.
Holy shit. Two major pending bids. Mike Z.
Man,
Flinky move.
Pissed.
Oh,
it confirmed.
I got to refresh here. 100 million sats. We're at 1 Bitcoin. Mike Z. Exactly the price he took home Relentless Optimism for. 1 Bitcoin on the dot. Of course, 1 Bitcoin was much less in fiat terms back then. So he's not afraid of a high Bitcoin price. He really wants this United Nodes of Bitcoin. Amazing to see Mike Z in the mix.
Some people think in sats, man. It's their unit of account. So for them, you know, early Bitcoiners, maybe it's not maybe it's not a lot. Mike Z, come on, let's go for 2 Bitcoins. Let's do this. Come on, come on.
1 Bitcoin is 1 Bitcoin.
There you go.
Every day and always.
But $1 is not $1 because this dollar is a very special dollar. This is is this one of a kind? How many of these are there?
Oh, this is a one of one, as they say in the business.
Man.
Yeah, and like you were saying, like this is not in your face. And I was talking to Crypto Graffiti about this yesterday, and I kind of just realized it from the conversation when he had this exhibited in Digital Garage in San Francisco. It seems like it would be like the ultimate double take art piece, right? Like you're walking by, it's a small piece, right? It's a dollar bill size. You probably think it's just a US dollar bill at first glance, and then you start to walk by it and you're like, why is this thing in a frame? And then you realize something's off. You do your double take and you're like, holy shit, what? You see the BTC probably first, and then you start to look closer and you see a decentralized network. And the closer you look, the more Easter eggs you uncover here. And that's what kind of makes this so special, is it's subtle but powerful.
Yeah, man. I feel like some of the best Bitcoin art pieces, they're conversation starters. They're the type of thing that I put it in your home or in a public place, depending on, what kind of art it is. And if it gets a conversation going, then that's a success. That's Bitcoin art, at least for me. And this is definitely that.
For sure. Well, I'm picturing Mike Z's. Oh shit, Flanky. Flanky looks like he's coming over the top. We can't call it until it's confirmed. But man, if Mike Z could have the United Nodes of Bitcoin alongside Relentless Optimism, you got two major conversation pieces there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, while we're waiting to see if this thing confirms, can we check in on what's going on with Genesis Block? I know you haven't shipped it to Brad Mills yet because he had a special request. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on there?
Sure. No, have not shipped it. It's sitting in my workshop. I'm in the process of 3D scanning it. So I've got some decent 3D scans. I'm trying to get some better ones. And the idea is to be able to create a 3D asset, a 3D model. Brad really wants an NFT version of this. So I'm actually going to be working with a buddy of mine who is he's like an augmented reality wizard and very much better at 3D than I am. So we're going to work together on this to create something really cool, and maybe we'll release a series of NFTs potentially on Liquid down the road. So TBD on that, but this piece is not finished. Let's say the physical piece is just one manifestation of the idea, and then we're going to take it to the digital realm and see what else we can do.
Awesome, man. Well, I look forward to seeing what you do there. And I think I saw you mention, and we talked about this, but I think I saw you mention maybe something more official about making a series out of that. Have you thought more about that?
Yeah. So the next one I'm going to be doing is going to be an homage to, I want to do different like blocks, like a chain of blocks, blockchain, blah, blah, blah. And each one will kind of focus on a time period in Bitcoin's history and highlight what was going on then. And the next one is going to be an homage to Ross Ulbricht and the Silk Road and that era of Bitcoin's history. So I'm upping my game. I'm waiting on a professional resin mold, so I don't have to build one myself. And for some of the embedding, the elements that I'm going to embed, they're on their way, and I'm going to be creating the rest. So still conceiving what this one is going to look like, but excited to do that. And probably afterwards, we'll do one kind of focus on Mt. Gox, and beyond that, I haven't quite got there yet.
Awesome, man. Well, I mean, as the blocks get adding to the blockchain, you're just going to have more historical events to cover in your blocks. So no shortage of material to work with.
That's the beauty of it. It can sort of be a never-ending series if I wanted to. It can just keep documenting Bitcoin's history as we go.
That's super cool, man. I also saw you tweeting something recently about Bitcoin TV. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on there?
Sure. So over at Swan Bitcoin, I'm working as the creative director at Swan as well. We created something called Bitcoin TV a while ago, and it was a 24/7 stream of curated Bitcoin content. And it was sort of a V1, and it was great. But I've been working with the team over at Swan. We redesigned the UX so it looks a lot sleeker. And added more content and revamped sort of some of the videos there. So we're still working out a few kinks. We're going to improve the UI a little bit, but it's there. It's ready. You can, if you want to click on the link, you can show everyone. It's content that's streaming 24/7. There's a price ticker and a block height, and we're going to be adding sats per dollar as well. So we kind of created it because while we're working all day at Swan, we wanted to be able to watch Bitcoin content and have like a Bitcoin CNBC playing in the background.
Into your own cold storage address, such as you can.
So Yeah, there's a huge variety of content there now. I think we have about 68 hours on loop, and I'll be adding more content over time. So anybody watching want to recommend some great Bitcoin content, send it my way. Let us know if you like it. Maybe we can throw one of these auctions on there, or a Scare City promo video, something like that. That'd be a lot of fun. So I'm trying to spice it up. There's educational content, entertaining content. In between some of the more serious videos are more memey videos that are funny, or Bitcoin music videos. I need to talk to Rare Skrilla and get some of his stuff on there, but we just try to have fun.
That's awesome, man. I love the idea because, back before I discovered Bitcoin and was just a financial markets nerd, I'd have CNBC in the background on mute. It's kind of good background visuals. I'd love to have something similar with Bitcoin, and looks like you guys are getting it done.
Exactly. So we also I just made a page that has the full lineup, so you can check that out too.
Flavor of interacting with Bitcoin and how it's changed their life, but they all have a common theme.
All right, sorry, I got some audio issues.
Get out of here, Robert. Breedlove.
All right, so checking in on the auction. Look, Flinky's bid's still pending.
Is he doing on-chain bids, maybe? What's he doing?
No on-chain bids allowed.
Right.
So that's a lightning invoice. I don't know. It looks like, I guess I can tell you in the back end, it looks like it expired, and then there's a new one. So maybe this is take two. We'll see. But we got 7 minutes left here, so something's got to get done within 7 minutes. Otherwise, Mike Z is taking this thing home.
Well, I imagine it's going to, if it goes to Mike Z, it'll be a good home next to some other amazing Bitcoin art. So Bitcoin art deserves to be in good company,
He's assembling quite the collection here. You gotta love it. All right. Well, while we're waiting to see what happens here, I have some links of just cool shit that's been happening in Bitcoin culture. Rebel Money, feel free to jump in on the conversation at any point. The first thing I got here, it's from our artist, Crypto Graffiti, so I had to cover this first. I thought this was really cool because the whole point of BTC versus the Fed is to orange pill specifically working class people. And in this case, it looks like he successfully orange pilled a third grade student.
Thank you, Mr. Crypto Graffiti. I love it.
I'll go. This is worth reading, right? Hello. I'm a teacher from Washington State. I came across your art when one of my third grade students was trying to find a connection between our cryptology unit and art. Holy shit. Props to the teacher for even going there. I don't know what cryptology actually is, but
I think they're probably into cryptography.
She has chosen to research your artwork for her independent research project. I'm curious if you'd be willing to set up an interview with her via Zoom. My guess is that it would take no longer than 30 minutes. Thinking about maybe March 9th at 10 Pacific time. We're also flexible with that. I look forward to hearing from you. Man, I wish I would have saw this yesterday so I could have gotten an update from Crypto Graffiti on this. I assume he took the call, I would love to hear how that went. And check out this artwork, man. We're cutting up fiat dollar bills in third grade.
Oh man, I love this. Where is he going to be joining the stream? If he's watching, you got to send this kid a little bit of artwork. Send him some cut up dollar bills at the very least.
Yeah. Keep the rabbit hole going. That was really cool to see. It just goes to show like what the impact his work has. We were talking before with Rebel Money about all of Crypto Graffiti's artwork having a purpose, and it achieves something, right? Like he's reaching literally with BTC versus Fed millions of people who are driving past these billboards or maybe seeing the artwork online, and maybe it's their first interaction with Bitcoin, and maybe it's their first step into the rabbit hole, and that's what I think makes this piece so iconic, right? Like, of course it's beautiful, and I just love looking at it and love searching for all of the Easter eggs in it, but the impact that this image has had, like this is this image has been seared into the minds of like so many people, even if it's just subconsciously. And it could be like when they look back and they're into Bitcoin, it could be what they remember as their first moment being introduced to Bitcoin. And that just goes way beyond, what most artwork is able to do.
All it takes is, somebody to question what they're looking at. Why did someone go to the trouble of, putting this up on a billboard, and then it sends them down the rabbit hole, and next thing you know, we've got more Bitcoiners. And so it's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're still waiting on Flinky here. Still got that bid pending.
We're in the final 3 minutes. I'm predicting some last minute bids here. I think they're waiting. I think they've established themselves. They said, look, I'm interested in this piece. Here I am. Here's my serious bid. But right at the last minute, that's when the craziness comes in.
Yeah. I think Flinky's on the old snipe, isn't he? He's basically going right at the last minute and then gazump. And then that's it. But,
you got to be careful, though.
Well, exactly. This is it. It's a very it's a game of it's very dangerous living on the edge, isn't it? Just trying to bid right at the last minute. So
it's reckless, if you will. It's
reckless but fun at the same time. So I think it's Flinky, if you're doing it, mate, or you got balls of steel, and this is as we say, if guys have been saying, this is a once in a lifetime piece of art here. So, you're playing with fire, my friend, and you've got 2 minutes, 9, 7, 6, 5 seconds. So no rush, my friend, no rush.
Well, we're keeping an eye on it. We got just under 2 minutes left. Still a pending bid. Look, I don't know if he's having an issue sending. We have plenty of inbound liquidity. So it's on our end. We are accepting bids.
Mike Z, if you're watching, you are allowed to outbid yourself if you so choose. By the way, feel free.
It'd be a generous donation to the artist for sure. All right.
Congratulations on your puppy, by the way. I'm loving it, Brekkie. Yeah, that is probably one of the cutest dogs I've ever seen, mate. It's just flooding my Twitter feed at the moment of Bitcoin and dogs. So, it's so congratulations, mate.
Thank you, Toshi. He's a good dog. He's a biter. We're working on that, but he's getting there. He's a good pup.
That's good, mate. You got to have something to keep all the $5 wrench attacks out of you. So always good to have one of those. So
I actually have a $20 wrench that I keep around. That's what I use for the $5 wrench attacks. Just gotta have a bigger wrench. That's all.
Yeah, man, that's where it's at. It's whoever has the bigger wrench wins, basically, isn't it? So, here we go. In the last 38 seconds. Flinky, you tease. Are you gonna
31, 30? He's gonna bid at 21 seconds. 21
So
seconds.
The auction cannot end with a pending bid. So as long as this bid is pending, the auction will stay open and he can still pay this invoice. Now that invoice will expire if it's not paid, but just because we go to 0 seconds here does not mean this thing is over.
Oh man. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Bid pending. Bid pending. So we got to see what happens with this invoice. It's if it confirms, we're back to 15 minutes. If it does not, the auction is over.
How long are we leaving it to confirm then?
It's two or three. I think it's 3 minutes total. Winning bid. It's over. Mike Z taking it home for 1 Bitcoin.
It's over.
Congrats to Mike Z. There's poetry in this. Mike Z with 2 big wins for a solid 1 Bitcoin. Man, what a lucky guy to have this collection assembled so far.
Well done, sir.
Congratulations, old Mike. Fair play. Crushing it, my friend. Crushing it.
Congratulations to Mike Z. Congratulations to Crypto Graffiti. And thanks to all the participants involved. This was a hell of a fight. So Mike Z does have 24 hours to pay his final bid. I think he's going to come through. I don't think he's the kind of guy to let us down, but we'll see what happens there. Gentlemen, before I let you go, any final words?
Support Bitcoin artists. Make Bitcoin art. Get out there. That's all I got.
Yeah, I'd echo that. Get out there, stack sats. Artists are basically Bitcoiners that don't know they're Bitcoiners yet. So support them, pay them in Bitcoin, get them involved, and every good revolution needs art. So the more we get in, the more chance we have of. Well, it is inevitable anyway. I suppose the quicker the revolution's going to happen. So here we go.
That's the thing. It's not that Bitcoin is inevitable, right? But artists can help the people get there faster. Bitcoin itself doesn't need us, but there are people out there who need Bitcoin. So that's why I think that's why we do what we do.
I think that's really well put there. Yeah.
That's it, man. Bitcoin art tells the story. It shares the message with others and introduces people to the cause. All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much for joining. This has been hella fun. Really appreciate you guys contributing to this and being a part of it. And I'm sure we'll catch up with each of you soon.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you for having me. Enjoy the rest of your days.
Take care, brother. Go enjoy the tea.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye. All right. If you're still with us, I do want to tease what we have coming up next week. The action is not stopping. We've got a very special auction with none other than Cypherpunk Now. I love this guy's style, man. Let's see the links he's got for us here. I really haven't checked much of this out because it's been down to the wire across the board. We may leave this a little bit ambiguous as to what he's actually auctioning off, but I think I think we can safely say this is the theme. Let's see what else he's got for us. Oh man, we got some more teasers here. This guy just does incredible work. I mean, I get like early internet 90s nostalgia looking at his work, and takes me back to simpler times, man. And you throw in some Bitcoin flavor in there, and it's just, I mean, I don't know. I might be bidding on this one. We'll see how it goes. I'll pull up one more of these links, and then audience will have to wait until next week to get the full expose. All right. I think we got a good idea of what the theme is here. But more details to come next week. The action's not stopping. We've got some serious auctions on your way here for the foreseeable future. No plans to stop. We're going to keep it going. We're going to do whatever we can to support Bitcoin art and culture. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. We'll be with you soon.